hello. This is 2026 Digital Young Creators Intergalactic Hangout Series brought to you by the Digital Marketing Associations of the Philippines and co-presented by YouTube and McDonald's. Okay, so in partnership with Investing in Women with the support of Co-Studio, Soundesign, It's Happening, Blogapalooza, and Anymind. So to have everyone onboarded here in the studio and everyone watching, this Digital Creative Learning Hangout series is one of the digital young creators and DMAP's many learning avenues that help digital people be more creative, like me, and other young creative people be more good into digital. And with DYC's overall theme this year of going intergalactic, we're exploring beyond the world that we already know. And so looking forward to rethinking what is to be digital and creative at the same time, and how do we go about in this fast digital space that we are experiencing now. So lucky, and I'm happy to be with people who are experts in different industries in the creative field. So today's topic is Young Digital People Meet Meaningful Creative Conceptualization. I'm Krish Marasigan, and I am a Associate Creative Director for content team, and I turn data, insights, and other chaotic trends online into content and ideas. So to introduce my colleagues now, or my hangout buddies. Hello,
Hi. Hi, Krish. Hi, I'm Jann Pascua. I'm the art director of Vogue Philippines. I am part of the pioneering team of Vogue Philippines, and essentially anything art-related or visual-related, from concept building down to what gets published across all platforms, whether it's print, digital, or events. So I have to oversee all of those things. So it's a fun platform, definitely.
Hi, Krish. Nice to meet you all. Hello. You can call me Celine, by the way.
Celine.
So, just a little bit more about me. I'm a big foodie. I really love food. That's the first thing I think about when I wake up. Ano ang kakainin ko sa araw na ito? And apart from that, I have a long list of restaurants to try. So, I do try at least one new restaurant a week. And I'm happy that the food industry is really booming now, especially that we have like Michelin recognized restaurants. There are a lot of IEOs everywhere. So it's a really good food scene that we're seeing now. And with that, it definitely relates to my work because I am the menu innovation lead and also the taste marketing lead for McDonald. So what I do is usually work on the innovations, develop new product launches, also the brand side of our core items in McDonald's Philippines. So there's a lot of eating that I do.
A lot of munching.
Of course.
Work
Yes.
and creative.
Hi, I'm Mylo. So I'm from TREYNA Group, formerly known as Small and Low. Medyo marami siyang ng iterations yung name. Maybe you know it as Lintas before or Low Philippines in its past incarnation. Pero ngayon, we're now called TREYNA. So we're still an advertising agency naman. We're an Omnicom affiliate. We've been around for 48 years. Wow. I'm sure medyo na kilala niyo na yung mga old campaigns from Surf. Saan pangalan here? So, yung Wise campaign, diba? With Lumen. Yan. Surf with Lumen. And of course, Cornetos sa naabot ang 20 pesos mo. And then yung pinaka-recent namin na work for the Right to Care card. And of course, one of our recent work din for Lucky Me, yung TikTok. So yan. So nang what I do outside work, kalang puro work. Hindi, joke lang. Hindi man siya puro work. I'm, yung pinaka-thing ko outside work would be open water swimming. So, medyo malayo siya from the work, but it fuels the work.
So because our topic is Young Digital People Meet Meaningful Creative Conceptualization, we'll be using a digital tool, real-time map, out our conversation on creativity. So when I have conversations with them, we'll just be inputting our answers, our whiteboard digital, where we can share our creative concepts and also share our ideas in the digital app. Okay, so you guys shared more about your work, but can I get to know you more, maybe outside work? How do you why were you interested in the fashion industry?
Growing up, actually, I've been, I guess, obsessed with magazines. So I would collect magazines, not realizing that I would end up in the publishing industry also. I thought I was going to pursue advertising specifically. The stories that we put out, if it can inspire people, start conversations, and, get inspired for them to create something out of the things that we publish, for me, that's fulfilling. So that's how it started for me. And then I actually thought I was going to be a fashion designer also. When I was studying, I wanted to pursue menswear fashion. Kasi at the time, there are very few pa na menswear na designers here in the Philippines. And I thought, okay, maybe this is something that I could start with. But then when I entered publishing, I really fell in love with the industry. So, and then from then on, tuloy-tuloy na till now. So, yeah.
Okay, that's nice to hear, Jan. Yeah. Before also when I was a kid, I've been playing dress up, etc. And then actually cutting out magazines and then just creating my own quote-unquote mood board, yung alam now. Pero before, syempre, mga random, inspirations for outfits and all. It's very kikay, and I can kind of relate to what you've been interested to way before. How about you, Celina?
Yes.
Celina, yeah. Are you have you been a monster of McDonald's ever since?
Yes, of course. Ever since, I've loved McDonald's already. But I'm actually a chemical engineer.
Oh, wow.
So I love the sciences, but at the same time, I am also very interested with how the business works, the entire facet of a company, and handling McDonald's, I think I was able to see that beyond just innovation, how pricing works, how communications work, how merchandising works. So very multifaceted. But at the same time, at least the foodie in me is still there. And I also really love to look into trends. When there's something new, whether that be like a junk food flavor or whether that be like anything that I see new in the grocery, I'm willing to try. So I really like to experiment there. So I guess that's how I came to be a marketer and now also a menu lead for McDonald's.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good. Do you get to experiment also with the menu of McDonald's?
Yes, of course. Being a menu lead means also being the R&D lead. So part of that is getting to taste as many flavors in a day as I could. It's always keeping up with what's new, what's next for taste, what's next for flavors. So looking into local and global flavors as well. So we have to be very experimental, can't be too picky there. So that's always my day-to-day routine.
I love how you being a foodie is also your work.
Of course,
you can experiment on the menu itself.
Yes. So it doesn't feel like work at all,
Yeah, it doesn't
actually.
feel like work. And you're just
like my
eating
playground. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. How about you, Mylo? What do you do outside of your usual work? Or what inspired you to be a now ECD or deputy ECD actually?
Ano yung nag-inspire sa akin? Bills?
Same naman.
Bills, diba? Daming bayarin.
Same.
Sorry, nagre-relax
Yes.
lang ako.
Yes.
But, outside work would be, ako kasi naniniwala ako na everything we do outside work fuels the work. Important na I experience life,
Yes.
regular life. Maglakad ako or kumain ako somewhere.
Yes.
Mag-try ako ng new things. Mag-coffee ako sa labas. Yun nga, my thing right now is swimming. I also ride my bike. So, medyo typical, human stereotypical art director na diba? But I try to consume as much experiences as possible.
Yes.
So, iba-iba. Tinatry ko na may variety and may range yung mga experiences na susubukan ko. So, I'm also into vinyl. So, at some point, gusto kong mag-DJ. Yung mga ganun, mga pinagdadaanan mo bago ka.
Side quests.
Diba? Mga
Madaming
side quests. Madami. So, yun yung mga mga things na I dabble on.
Okay. Actually, based on your sharing of experiences or like interests, kaya I noticed that our interests from way before, parang yun talaga yung nagdadrive sa atin to what we're doing now. Parang it's maybe an interdisciplinary thing. It somehow shapes you, and you also bring your passion from way before into your work now. And being exposed to different hobbies nga, yung mga side quests, dami na parang you gain knowledge to it and you actually contributed to what you do for work now. Do you have that most creative or creative and digital idea?
So, most creative and digital, yun nga, medyo hybrid siya. As I mentioned, yung right to care. Actually, low-tech digital siya kasi basically yung campaign, diba, started with a very human problem na, yun nga, yung merong concern on non-traditional relationships during emergencies. Paano natin sila matutulungan. So, very human yung problem. So, very simple lang din yung solution. There's actually this thing called a special power of attorney. So, how we innovated it is we turned it into a card na may QR. So, sabi ko sa'yo, di ba, low-tech, pero digital. So, medyo hybrid siya. So, yun, parang, it's actually a legal document. We just made sure na mas madali lang ma-access nung audience natin and nung yung group na gusto nating tulungan. Wow. So, and ongoing pa siya. We actually started with the LGBTQIA community. Sa kanila namin na-start yung campaign na to. And then it actually opened up to other non-traditional relationships. So, whether unmarried couples or like friends na, di ba, may mga ganun may mga friends sila for a long time and they consider themselves as family.
Yes.
So yun. So yun naman yung, at least I think, yung pinaka biggest campaign that TREYNA has been working on kasi it's actually year 3 na siya. This month. Yeah. Di ba, very important kasi to for any brand na makarelate to your digital audience, which is basically yung audience mo who are almost 24/7 online. So, very important for them na mapansin kanila. Kasi syempre, if you're gonna go the usual route of your traditional way of talking to your audience.
All right. So, I think one of my favorite McDonald's campaigns that really integrated digital and creatives really well was the unbranded menu. Not sure if you've heard about this, but we know that Gen Zs are really a big chunk of our market, and a lot of them spend countless of hours in like virtual worlds and in gaming. I'm not a gamer myself, but brilliant on how the brand was able to integrate itself into the gaming world without any sponsorships, without any investment. So like the challenge was the gamers had to hunt for like logo free food alikes, whether that be in like Final Fantasy or in any game and so on. So maghanap sila, they take a screenshot of this and then they share it that this is McDonald's.
Wow.
Ganyan. So parang we know that they don't want to be interrupted as they play their game. So, how could we penetrate that market without interrupting them? Rather, how could we contribute to what they love? Diba? And naturally, tapping into that human truth and that behavior, I think it was a successful campaign which actually did win the Cannes Lions and certain awards as well. So that's something that is memorable for me. Integrating digital and creative together.
Kasi free McDo, and plus it's interesting for me to try the game itself, and then later on, wow, I'll get our McDo's reward.
Yeah. So when you post it, you do get a reward as well.
Well, with us naman at Vogue, on our first year actually, we explored the metaverse. So in 2022, this was still the infancy of AI, and at the time, if you guys have heard of world building in the metaverse, that's something that we wanted to have a footprint on in terms of expressing our Filipino identity, because obviously all the other editions and all different countries are already exploring the metaverse at the time. And then we were figuring out, how do we put a stamp or how do we present our Filipino identity in this space? But what we did was we collected 1,000 faces from our archives from way back, and then generated faces of the Filipino of what a Filipino face would look like. So we were able to create 3 faces or Filipina faces, and then from there we built a fashion editorial around it also. We had Filipino designers that were they were computer generated. Their designs were translated into digital. So we were working with different teams all over the world. We had the team in Singapore, we had the team in the US, we had the team in Australia, and then here in Manila, all building all the elements to create the fashion story. So even the landscapes we had to create from scratch, just to be able to create a world of what a Filipino paraiso is, because we often hear this from people outside their country na, oh, this is paradise. So if you guys want to check that out, that's actually in our December issue in 2022. So so it's really fun to create, and that's also when we realize, in terms of I guess AI now, we still lack representation.
Yes.
And I think with social media and the strength of Filipinos in social media also, just us posting regularly, that built our pool of I guess what Filipino identity really is.
But this creative conceptualization, how do you explain it to someone who's not into is not an expert yet in our industry?
My experience, I was trained, and kami din, we're training our young creatives to always ask why. I mean, we have to examine kasi the problem itself. Answerable ba talaga ng advertising yung problema nila? So, with the guidance naman to of your more senior creatives and mga ka-work mo pa in the agency, I make sure na naiintindihan ko yung brief. So, sorry planners, we also question to. Ano yung strategy na to? Tama ba siya? But yun, exercise din kasi siya. All types of creatives as young as possible, diba?
Being on the client side. I really hear you, Mylo, sa mga hugot mo. But then, siguro let's break it down to what creative conceptualization really is. It's turning a business objective or a consumer need that must be addressed into an overarching big idea, like a compelling idea, because the concept is actually the thinking behind the creatives. How would the output go? It's like the guide to all the creative outputs. Syempre, first and foremost, a good concept should start with a very clear, crisp, and good brief. So you must, for the young digital marketers out there, you must know your context by heart. Hindi dapat pabago-bago yung business objective or goal. Have that one goal, have that one KPI, and then from then on, you look into what is your marketing objective, what is your comms objective, and that's when you get into inciting.
Yes.
Na kami naman, what we try to do with inciting and understanding the human truth, I would say, like, what is the consumer need first? Why would they care about the concept, and what does it mean to them? So parang it shouldn't go far from the behavior. From that concept, ma-realize ng consumer na, this is why I really need this product. I understand it. I need it.
Yes, I agree with both of you. I think we should note that sa fake jam.
Sige.
Parang, what's your problem or what do you need to solve?
Yes.
Parang ganun. Parang may direction yung creative outputs mo and etc. Pero basically, yun yung heart talaga ng brief. What's your objective or what's the market problem that you want to solve?
For me naman, whenever I hear creative conceptualization, I guess I see it as an opportunity to play. You get to question things, you spark your curiosity, you investigate also in terms of How do you solve these problems? I guess check and balance in terms of when you're conceptualizing, you have to really have a deep well of research to make sure now what you're putting out is something fresh and something new, and it's not like just a complete na copy and paste from somewhere, right? So that's something that you have to be very, very mindful of. Especially coming from a media brand and from publishing media, we do have journalistic principles that we have to always check. Like with Vogue in particular, in Vogue Philippines, our core values center on sustainability and care for the natural environment, inclusivity and diversity, care for craft and creativity. Whenever there's a feature, there's a concept that we're trying to build, we always link it back to these core values. Are these core values present? Because if not, then automatic it's not part of our identity. It's always going back to your core at the end of the day.
Yes. Wow. Okay, so I think everything that you guys said, talagang need ng purpose yung pag-create ng content. You have to ask your why and have a foundation. But I guess one of the problems also now in digital age, it's so easy to create content. Like, what can you say about the creator? I can just take out my phone, open an app, and then just start creating content based on the trends. Do you think that it's becoming a challenge in the creative landscape?
I think first of all, for the Gen Zs, I am so impressed and amazed how easy for you guys to create content. I think that's why those that are able to create something that is unique, that's why it sticks to a lot of people. I guess in terms of bandwagon, they sort of become the trendsetter for a certain thing or how things are done. And you have to acknowledge who did it first. Be on the lookout on who's doing something different also, instead of because it's so easy for everyone to sort of like end up doing the same thing eventually. Yeah. And it's fine.
Dance choreo.
As long as you're doing it for fun and diba, and you're not forcing yourself to do it for the sake of just creating. You have to figure out also your identity. I guess it goes back to your core also. Is this something that if I publish this, if I post this a good representation of myself?
I think it's an exciting challenge. The challenge is you always have to be on your toes. You always have to be on the lookout. How do you ride onto it while still being authentic, as you said, to the brand's DNA, to the values, and the tonality? Kasi sometimes it comes off cringy pa nga if a brand attempts to get into it. Pero like, you have to be very cautious of that, I would say. There are boundaries. But then also, another challenge is how do you make it sustainable? And then how would the timing be? Because you might be like in the middle of a big campaign, then comes Charmaine, and how do you put it into the platforms?
Like what Celine mentioned, medyo yung added challenge would be how do we make sure na yung anything na ilalabas natin outside that trend would be, we call it sa TREYNA na patolable. So by patolable, i-share mo even ikaw mismo as a person and not as a marketer.
But these creative ideas or trends, pero how do you make such creative ideas meaningful? Or paano sila magka-impact? Kasi minsan yun nga, trends lang, parang uso lang now. Pero how do you transform these creative ideas into something meaningful?
Yeah. I think for McDonald's, or at least for myself, I feel that it should be serving a purpose. You look at the business side, but you also look at how you are able to tap into the emotion of the consumer. We try to be mindful, like, is this culturally relevant? Is it an idea that you can scale, a concept that you can scale? Does it really solve real needs? Is it also authentic to the Filipino insights? So probably one example of a campaign to me was really meaningful for drive-through. So ride-through campaign goes beyond just yung kotse that goes through a typical drive-through. We know that a big chunk of the population rides motorcycles, rides bikes, even kalesa. So, we try to create a campaign out of it na lahat ng klaseng mode of transportation welcome McDonald's. So, not only was it able to solve a business need, but it was also able to tap into something culturally relevant, something very Filipino. So, yun yung parang how do you make the consumer feel welcome and feel good? I think to
Aside
make it
from-
memorable,
Yes.
you really have to tap into the
emotions. Yeah.
Kung may nag-resonate siya to your audience, personally, kahit maliit, any type of emotion, nagawa niya yung job niya.
I think it's the same for us, yung
Yes.
resonance talaga. And when it's organic and when it's authentic talaga, the reception, that for us is really, really meaningful and
Yes.
fulfilling. Had Apo Wangod on the
Yes.
cover also, which in reality, we were just hoping that the conversation of, I guess, beauty standards and ageism and all these things would resonate within the Filipino audience, but we didn't realize that it would have a huge impact also globally. And it really sparked conversations na like you embracing aging,
Yes.
right? And not to be afraid of aging. And imagine she's 100 and
Yes.
like I don't know now, or 108
100 plus,
or something, and she's still so strong and really vibrant.
Yes,
so
she's still active now.
very
It's not-
active. Even that one, I think, when it's done really authentically and organically also, and when it resonates to your audiences and even beyond,
Yes.
it makes it even more meaningful.
Yes, when it was built on purpose and authenticity also, authentic on Filipino culture and heroing Filipinos, it just reached out by itself. That's true. Actually, I don't think na it's intentional for you guys to reach out to the international market when you had Wang Od as cover na talagang napatunayan yung culture ng Filipinos because of Globe, because of Vogue. And with the Filipino scientists, actually, it resonated, just like what we were talking about earlier, it resonated with me, only because I like flowers in general. I like drawing flowers, I like learning about it. And then when I saw the covers, wow, we have so many Filipino scientists that's not being, put into a spotlight. And I think it also reached international audiences from different apps, especially on YouTube. Someone's reviewing about it as well. So I think authenticity also plays a big role in being more meaningful because you really are resonates well with the Filipino audience. Well, today, there are a lot of content that's being published now and being created. Okay, it's important for us, just like what you guys shared, to know the core values, also the purpose of your content. But of course, you wanted to have a heart for your content as well. So, going to my next question. Hope you guys is okay. You can guys drink your Mac Cafe and also yes, and McNuggets as well. And also we can play around the fake jam also. Yeah. We can put a heart on our notes as well. Ang dami yun. Ang dami yun nalagay na notes. Yes. Oo,
I'm
engaged na.
inputting what you guys are talking
Yeah, oo.
about. So,
Oo, para ka-copy notes na tayo dito. Okay. So, well, me, as a young digital creative or working in a digital agency, digital moves really fast. We're expected to create content every day or maybe multiple times a day. Doomscrolling talaga. Ano pwede natin content? Ano pwede natin hijack? But also, how can digital creatives like me become more conceptual rather than simply reactive to what I see online? So how can I be more conceptual, and how do you share that to the audience or to the viewers now?
I actually like Mylo's answer earlier,
Yes,
way
yes.
earlier kanina, na you have to live life outside of just the digital space.
Love it.
You really need to like immerse yourself and just have all these side quests. Kasi from there, you don't even realize na you're again deepening your well of knowledge
Yes.
and information that you can
Yes.
eventually use for concept building.
Yes.
So
I think for digital creatives, parang don't get too engrossed with the format, the digital format. A good concept, of course, will always start with a good idea. So consumers will always remember the idea, but not necessarily the format. So you have to be creative. Parang how do you map out that idea to a human truth? Late night doom scrolling. How does it become like late night evening snacks? Or like kain with, example, your barkada or sharing. How do you translate it into like parang you're sharing the choices that you make when you're in McDonald's, badly put, or like let's say, delivery apps. If you think about just delivery apps on its own, you'll get stuck. But rather, you expand it to not just convenience, but like the brand cares for you. That's why we have McDelivery. So parang, diba, you go deeper into the idea more than the format.
More than the execution.
More than the execution. So it has to start with something really strong, a strong big idea.
We have to remember that it's still problem solving. So basically, yun yung foundations of how to solve a problem would be stepping away from the brief, making sure na, developing a strategic acumen. Kahit digital yan, kailangan strategic ka pa din in a way. And look at the platform. You think social first, diba? You look at your audience. Iba-iba yung pwedeng panggalingan kasi ng idea. Whether it's big, scalable, big idea or a small idea.
And I guess that's what's maybe the challenge that I've shared earlier with the creatives now. It's so easy to just create content or like to go straight to the execution. What format, what audio to do. But then sometimes it misses in the algorithm or misses as a meaningful creative idea. You have deep strategic thinking dapat. Tapos meron tayong ideas na may pinanghuhugutan or human truth. Minsan kasi when it comes to doing my work, or maybe in your agency as well, we have so many ideas. Pero pare sila may mga hugot. Basically, how do we choose the good digital creative idea for you?
Kaya kami accounts. Well, yun din naman yung roles ng partners natin. They make sure na align tayo sa objectives.
Okay.
Objectives ng client, objectives ng kung ano mang campaign yung ginagawa natin. Diba, hindi man pwedeng puro ideas lang tayo tapos pala, hindi siya aligned to the budget, hindi siya aligned to the, diba, hindi siya realistic gawin. Yun, that's where everyone else's role. You have to ground it back to the brief and to the problem that we're trying to solve.
Going back to the, ano problema?
Oh.
Ganun.
And I think at the end of the day, that's why dialogue is really key. Because you have to have that conversation. So, and even just to question things, na parang if you're on the right track or on the right path. And for us, like whenever, for example, when we're deciding on an image or a cover, we ask everyone in the team, like, how do you feel about this particular image? Because if one member would feel uncomfortable,
May something.
the reality is most likely when we publish this, someone else might feel the same way. So you have to take that into consideration also. So dialogue talaga, it helps all of us, I guess, as creatives in terms of streamlining ideas also and making sure that what you're putting out at yung pinaka-essence niya at the end of the day, yung pa rin yung strongest na messaging and that will come out of it, diba? So going back to the core of it all talaga, the singular idea talaga at the end of it.
Yeah. Actually, constant communication then with your team. Kasi mamaya, idea na to, ay, mas stronger pala or mas may reach talaga natin yung market it is. Yeah. Other people would say na, okay, go back muna tayo sa brief, parang lumalayo na tayo, ganun. So, parang ganun din tayo mag-choose na for good ideas when executing it online or on digital.
Sometimes it's as simple as fellow colleague. Probably not from work. If you want to check your idea,
Yes.
na, let's say, coffee, and if you happen to have a lot of coffee-loving colleagues around, simply ask, like, ano sa tingin mo dito?
Yeah, for fresh eyes.
Yeah,
kasi,
for fresh
parang-
eyes.
Meron kang joke, diba? Ba-bounce off mo to a regular person. So, kung hindi niya na-gets, kayo lang yung nakakagets. Kayo lang yung natatawa, diba?
Pero where does your creative idea come from?
Heavily inspired siya by the brief.
Brief talaga.
Pero marami kang kailangan i-take in consideration. Yung brief itself is marami siyang laman. The target market. Pero maraming data, basically, diba? Na pwedeng panghugutan. It's just a matter of choosing kung alin yung important.
Actually, you can also look at like social conversation. Yes.
Yes. Mas unfiltered, mas authentic, and ay talaga, tas nakaka-resonate pala ako doon.
Yeah.
Actually, I asked that kasi yun nga, in the digital space, we doom scroll or dun tayo nakuha ng ideas sometimes. But do you guys think that great ideas come first and then digital just amplifies them? Or can digital itself inspire that idea?
Work both ways. Digital is more of a tool for us to, create things and conceptualize, because obviously we have platforms outside of digital also.
Yun nga. can come from social listening.
Mm.
So, pwedeng dun nanggaling yung yung insight mo. Solution itself can be digital, diba?
Mm.
Mahirap siya i-declare na better siya on digital kasi nga meron tayong specific objectives.
Mhm.
So, I would say hindi parating solution yung digital kasi minsan, di ba, may misconception na wala kaming budget digital na lang. Tapos, ganyan. So, parang kung wala kayong budget, baka may iba pang solution. Kasi if you don't spend for it, if you don't have media money for it, wala rin makakita ng digital solution. But yun nga, if yung idea is strong enough, it all goes back to the idea.
I think digital is both a listening tool, your tool to storytell. You have like unprecedented access to culture, to conversations, to memes real time. So it's so powerful to use it for listening. But at the same time, it's also powerful to scale a message through it. So it's like your vehicle to evolve the idea faster, helpful two ways.
Okay, actually agree with all of you. But for me, digital isn't just a tool or like a platform. It has become a culture. Like people are there. We build communities in digital. We also get sources or ideas in digital because the people are there. Actually shapes our culture now and actually shapes behaviors also. So everything's there, and at least we also try to change people in digital. That's why creative conceptualization in digital is really important to create meaningful concepts or ideas. But I agree with all of you, and I'm inspired also with how you guys do your work in digital and how you guys founded in the core values and the whys of people. But I want also to inspire our viewers more and the audience on how do you guys do the creative thinking or the process of creative conceptualization thinking. Did it change maybe years ago, and what did digital do, or maybe digital has a role in your creative thinking today?
We're talking about digital, but I have a tendency to unplug also and like really look into things outside of digital. So I like going into books, art books, going on museums, or even just doing things outside of just the digital space talaga. It helps me figure things out also, or get inspiration from whenever I need to problem solve or whenever I have to think of something also, and just have conversations. The primary source of inspiration also, you'd be surprised that you can link all these ideas together when once you get that conversation. Once you hear all of these stories, it's so interesting how you can build a completely different idea, just coming from, I guess, like a singular point or a singular seed. You don't just reach out to the creatives, actually ask them for their insights and input also, like what is their take, how would they interpret this particular story also, because it progresses the story into to a bigger narrative also.
That's true. I like it's also the story of the people who work behind it.
I think to add lang to what Jann said, a lot of it should come from really strong collaboration with the creative partners. Make sure to immerse your creative partners to your brand DNA. Like, they really know the core of the brand, the market, the values. They are on board with the truths behind the brand. In McDonald's, we have something called fan truth. So it goes beyond a human truth, but it's also the truth of the brand. It makes conceptualization easier and execution faster.
Siguro yung one of the things na hinahanap ko when I'm brainstorming with the team would be, sana may point of view sila na bago. Kasi so having a specific point of view would give your idea more chances of winning, more chances of mapansin ng audience.
So ito na yung brainstorming na puput natin out there on the digital. I know you guys tackle about human truth and having values in your content. How do we create ideas that actually stick with people, even over time, or even digital has come way, way beyond?
If grounded to something na totoo dun sa kausap mong audience, you're not cosplaying as them, ha? So it's not like a brand trying to be Gen Z. So magkaiba siya. But it's finding something na parang yung common ground nyo, di ba? Common ground ng brand and common yung ng brand and that person.
Woman has been such a household name na rin. So parang, I think they were able to evoke kasi I think people really won't remember like the format, but people will remember emotion, the stories, the tone, like kahit being consistent with your tone all throughout, consistent with your messaging. You should always remember being, yun nga, tapping into the cultural relevance. Tapos nagsistick din sa akin yung napapaiyak ako. A lot of it were like McDonald's Father's Day and Mother's Day campaigns. Like, I would recall yung love kita pa, thank you for carrying. Kasi ako, I'm a new mother and I could relate that it takes a village to take care of a child. So parang very relatable siya. I think to many people at one point in their lives. So, yun lang. How do you become relatable and how do you integrate yung actual experiences of people into your campaigns?
I think it always goes back to your core identity din talaga. Like, never lose your core identity, and in spite of all the noise that you see in digital, how do you make people stop and like really maybe read your content or listen or just you appreciate the image, right? Singular objective in spite of all this digital noise is if it can spark ideas, the dialogue among like, you know, people also, then for us, we've done our job.
So relatability and also having meaningful creative concepts really play a lot when it comes to sticking your content. So I'm really glad that I've learned a lot from different experts in different industries. So just to wrap it up with everything, maybe we can check our notes. Do you have any advice or like lessons, insights that you want to share to the audience and to our viewers today?
I wrote here, spend time off your phones and experience real life. Pero totoo yun. Kasi
Lalo na in digital.
Wag nating i-limit ourselves to our FYP. Dali kasi, diba? But yun lang, iba pa rin yung experiencing the real world. Books, movies, diba? Yun, don't forget to ask the whys. Kung always remember or always ask, don't be afraid to ask, why are we doing this?
Don't be a desk marketer. I'd rather see my team going out than being behind their laptop.
Yeah.
Like, at least more than 50% of the time. Like, go out there, study people, observe, eat, alam mo yun, like experience the brand, experience the competitors, understand culture, talk to consumers. Like, kasi ako, I came from FMCG. It's really a matter of just immersing yourself. So if you could do that yourself as a marketer, it would make such a big difference. It will make your output more meaningful.
It's the same note for me also, just to build human connections talaga, even outside of the screen.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing now is basically have a life outside the screen and then share it online where you can be memorable and you can put your message out there and make people move regardless of what content, but have a life outside screen and then share your creative concept to reach more people and to have a more meaningful creative conceptualization. Basically, everything based from human experience still and human truth. Okay. Thank you again, everyone. And coming from a digital company, it's been a very interesting learning experience for me. And I'm sure it has been for our viewers too. And for everyone who's been tuning in, thank you for spending your time with us. Digital Young Creators Intergalactic Hangout Series. So brought to you by the Digital Marketing Associations of the Philippines and co-presented by YouTube and McDonald's. And in partnership with Investing in Women with the support of Co-Studio, Soundesign, It's Happening, Blogapalooza, and Anymind. So we'll be back next month with another DYC Intergalactic episode. So stay tuned and make sure that you like and subscribe. And again, I'm Krish Marasigan saying thank you from the Digital Young Creators Intergalactic Hangouts. So thanks guys for hanging out.